our 5:30 interview today. This week is Annual PrEP Awareness Week. It is a statewide observance that really works to increase awareness among providers and among the community regarding the PrEP pill or injectable medicine that can help significantly decrease HIV infection if indeed someone is exposed.
Yes, throughout the week, there are many opportunities to learn about the medications and the importance of stopping the spread. Joining us today is Carmen Julius, from the Executive Director of PALS, and Dean Edwards, who is the Program Manager for Counseling, Testing, and Referral Services, also with PALS. Thank you so much for coming to the show today.
Thank you.
Yes, well, we'll start with the first basic question, so make sure that everyone's on the same page. What exactly is PrEP, and why is there such a need for this week to raise awareness about it?
Well, PrEP is a medical intervention. It's the very best prevention tool we have right now to prevent HIV transmission. And while we are really excited about it, and those of us in the field are very familiar, what we realize is that there are persons in the community who may have heard of PrEP but aren't exactly sure what it is.
And Dean, let me talk to you a little bit about the stigma, because, you know, Carmen, I know you've been in the work, girl, doing the work for a very long time. The White House has even held symposiums in our state because of the high prevalence and rate of HIV. How are we doing in terms of breaking the stigma? I know it's not in the headlines as much as it has been at different times, but can you give us an update on the progress we're making?
Well, we know that there's a lot of stigma still out there. It comes from years of misinformation. But right now, with PrEP Week and things, a lot of outreach that we're doing at PALS, we're trying to break that stigma. And we're working with a lot of institutions, a lot of HBCUs, as well as other institutions across the state to break that stigma, especially with the college-age youth.
Yeah, so important. And Carmen, you and I were talking a little bit earlier about which communities this is affecting the most. What community do you think needs the most information about PrEP, and why is there such a focus for that specific community?
Well, we want to focus on all ages and all communities, all genders, all ethnicities. But what we know is that 1 in 4 new HIV infections are among those aged 18 to 24. So we are really focusing on HBCUs and other college campuses, particularly during PrEP Week. So we are even talking about this as being College PrEP Week. We want to make sure that our young adults who are out there sometimes for the first time making their own decisions away from parental guidance, that they have the information and tools they need to make the best decisions for their health.
So tell me how you're making that connection with that generation and with the HBCU audience. I mean, I know social media is a tool now that, you know, we didn't have, you know, at least it wasn't as prevalent back in the day. I mean, you know, everybody's on all, you know, the IG, TikTok, all of that now. How are you helping, what tools are you using to resonate, especially with the HBCU audience?
Well, one thing, every month during each semester, we're at Allen, Benedict, Claflin, and Morris College.
Okay.
So we have a presence. On top of that, we also attend USC during the spring semester. So we just have a presence on campus. We have recruiters on those campuses as well. We do a lot of social media outreach on those campuses, and just have a presence. Sometimes we'll go do a sex talk with some of the students.
Okay.
So, and it's just being a presence. I think that helps a lot with getting the word out about HIV testing, but as well as knowing their status.
Yeah, it's so important. And for people who are not familiar with PALS, Carmen, tell us about your organization. I know you've been doing it and involved since the 80s, but what makes PALS so unique, and some of the resources that you offer across the communities here?
Well, we have been around since 1985, and we have evolved over time to just be responsive to the needs of the community and to the epidemic. Of course, right now we are in progress with so many other organizations across the state and across the country to end the HIV epidemic. To do that, we have to provide other services. People need housing, food. Of course, they need to be tested. They need mental and behavioral health counseling services. A lot of times we overlook those kinds of things when we talk about HIV prevention. Each of us has a reason for our behavior, and sometimes that behavior may be what is deemed inappropriate because we don't have the tools to handle certain situations. So we have case managers, we have what we call peer navigators, of course outreach workers, we have behavioral health, we have 2 behavioral health therapists that help people work through those issues and to increase their value of their own health and their own health decisions.
And Dean, when you talk about, sometimes I think we take for granted that people know, the basic information about testing, where to go, whether free testing is available, but a lot of people don't have readily available access to that. So what information can you share with us on that front?
Well, we of course we have enough pamphlets and brochures. We do use social media a lot with our programs, as Carmen mentioned. But we also, we offer our mobile testing.
Okay.
So once we're in the community, we may be in Orangeburg, we may be at a church, we may be wherever. We have a full-fledged of information that we share with individuals. We have worked within the barbershops, handing out information and safer sex paraphernalia. So we're out in the community. We can do more. Having this is more. So, getting the word out through social media, through newspapers, through mouth, word-to-word contact, that works.
We've used bus benches, and we have a bus that is wrapped
Yes.
with information.
I think I've seen that.
Yes,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
we want information to be accessible to people, so we go where people are. So, we thought it's important that we, use some different methods of reaching people and talking to the community.
And speaking of the community, how can they volunteer with PALS and help end the stigma about HIV/AIDS, but furthermore, help educate the community?
We love volunteers. We do train volunteers at our office. They can give us a call, 803-779-7257. Stop by. We have our volunteer trainer is ready to welcome anyone who wants to help us in this fight. And it is a fight for all of us. It is something that we all need to take some ownership with and take some accountability for.
And I want to make sure before we go that for anyone who may need testing, who wants to know their status, or someone who knows their status and needs help with resources, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Contact us at www.pals.org or 803-779-7257. On social media, they can actually order a take-home kit.
Oh,
You can
that's
even
great.
mail it to them. They can come pick it up. We can take it delivered to them. So take-home testing is the thing now.
Well, y'all are meeting the people where they
Yes,
are.
we
I
are.
love it. Thank
Yes,
you for
we
the
are.
work that you do in our community.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, and that's PALS, PALSS.
Yes.
Not to be confused with the animal organization. All right, thank you so much for coming on the show. Again, there's some information on your screen about PrEP Awareness Week and what colleges PALS will be visiting this